Every day, millions of people turn on the news believing they're choosing what to think. But what if the choice was made long before the broadcast even began? Today, we're stepping inside the invisible machinery that manufactures modern reality. Not politics, not ideology. System built on psychology, incentives, and the quiet power of repetition. And once you understand how it works, you'll never watch the news the same way again. Most people assume they're choosing between dozens of independent voices. Different networks, different anchors, different brands. But zoom out far enough, and the illusion cracks. Ownership funnels upward. Narratives converge. And what looks like variety becomes a single, unified pipeline. The illusion of choice is comforting, but it's still an illusion. And it's the first step in understanding how modern media shapes the world around us. This isn't about blaming journalists or demonizing newsrooms. It's about understanding the architecture behind the stories we consume. Because the truth is simple. The media doesn't just report reality. It frames it. It edits it. It packages it. And in that packaging, entire worlds are created or erased. That's why this matters. Not someday. Not eventually. Right now. To understand the system, we have to start at the beginning. The script. Before a single word is spoken on air, a story is selected, shaped, and refined. Not for accuracy, but for attention. In a world where speed beats nuance and emotion beats detail, the incentives are clear. Outrage spreads. Fear retains. Urgency converts. And so the script is crafted to keep you watching, not to keep you informed. But the real power doesn't sit in the newsroom. It sits in the editing room. It's a place where tone is sculpted, where emphasis is chosen, where silence becomes a tool. A single sentence can be cut. A single clip can be rearranged. A single pause can shift the meaning of an entire story. Most people never think about this stage, yet it's the stage that shapes everything. The editing room is where narratives are born. Once the story leaves the studio, it enters the algorithmic echo chamber. Social platforms don't amplify what's true. They amplify what performs, and what performs is whatever keeps you scrolling. The same headline appears again and again. The same phrasing. The same emotional cues. Repetition becomes familiarity, and familiarity becomes truth. Not because it's accurate, but because it's everywhere. This is where the system becomes invisible. When every platform reinforces the same angle, it stops feeling like a narrative and starts feeling like reality. And that's the point. The most powerful form of influence isn't loud. It's quiet, subtle. It's the slow shaping of perception through repetition, framing, and omission. Not what's said, but what's left out. Not what's shown, but what's never shown at all. And this is where the danger lies. Not in fake news, but in manufactured reality. A reality built from selective angles, emotional triggers, and algorithmic reinforcement. A reality that feels natural because you never see the construction. A reality that shapes beliefs, decisions, and identities without ever announcing itself. But once you understand the system, you can step outside of it. You can see the patterns. You can recognize the framing. Then, you can question the incentives. And you can reclaim the one thing the system depends on you never using: your independent judgment. So let's break the loop. Let's pull back the curtain. Let's examine the architecture piece by piece, starting with the illusion of choice. We live in an age of perceived abundance. Millions of channels, millions of websites, and endless scrolls of information at our fingertips every single day. The first truth is simple. Most news outlets are owned by a small number of parent companies. It's a handful of entities controlling the global conversation. Different logos, different colors, different slogans, but the same boardrooms. It's the same incentives, the same pressure to perform across the entire industry. When ownership consolidates, narratives consolidate. The diversity of thought we expect from a free press begins to narrow into a single, managed stream. And when narratives consolidate, Perspective narrows. What feels like diversity becomes uniformity, creating a mirror that only reflects what the owners want us to see. Decades ago, dozens of companies competed to inform you. Today, that number has shrunk significantly, leaving the gatekeeping power in very few hands. This isn't just about business, it's about influence. These parent companies have interests in everything from defense and energy to technology and finance. When the reporter's paycheck comes from a corporation with a stake in the story, the objectivity of that reporting is inevitably called into question. This creates the echo effect. A single story, framed a certain way, is broadcast across hundreds of local stations, sounding like a consensus. The result is a public that is highly informed on specific talking points, but often unaware of the context that lies outside the approved narrative. To break this cycle, we must become active consumers rather than passive recipients. We must seek out independent journalists and diverse international sources. We need to understand the why behind the what. Why is this story being told now? And more importantly, what stories are being left out? True media literacy is recognizing the frame around the picture. So once you see the frame, you can finally look at the whole landscape. Because the moment you understand how the system works, the system loses its power over you. You are no longer just a viewer. You are a witness. Stay critical, stay curious, and always keep pulling back the curtain. The truth is often waiting just beyond the familiar headlines. Every second of content you consume has been meticulously engineered to hold your gaze. In a world where information is infinite, your focus is the most valuable commodity. But how is that attention actually captured and sustained? To understand the psychology of the scroll, we have to go behind the scenes, past the polished filters and into the machinery of creation. From there, we move to the script factory. This is where stories are chosen, not for importance, but for impact. Not for depth, but for engagement. The question isn't what happened, it's what will keep people watching. And the answer is almost always the same. Emotion, fear, outrage, conflict. These are the engines of attention. And attention is the currency of modern media. Without it, the most profound truths often go unheard, buried under the noise. Then comes the editing room effect. This is the outlier insight most people never consider. Editing isn't just trimming footage, it's shaping meaning. A pause added here, a clip removed there, headline rewritten for maximum reaction. Editing is invisible, but its influence is enormous. It determines what you feel, not just what you know. Every cut is a choice. Every sound effect is a cue. Media isn't just a window to the world, it's a lens that shapes it. By understanding these mechanics, you gain the power to choose how you react, rather than simply being driven by the algorithm. A modern age of digital perception, where the line between what is real and what is shown has become increasingly thin. In this exploration, we look behind the glass screens to understand how our worldview is being carefully constructed by invisible forces. Every click, every like, and every second spent scrolling contributes to a profile that the digital world uses to define your reality. But who is really in control of the information you consume? Okay? Is it you or the systems designed to keep you watching? To understand this, we must look at how stories move through our modern landscape, beginning with the digital ecosystem. Next is the algorithmic echo chamber. Once a story enters the digital ecosystem, it's no longer controlled by journalists. It's controlled by algorithms designed to maximize engagement. Okay? These complex codes prioritize what keeps us clicking over what is objectively true. The more emotional the story, the more it spreads. Anger, fear, and outrage are the fuels that power the digital machine. As these stories circulate through our social feeds, they begin to take on a life of their own, independent of their origin. The more it spreads, the more it feels true. Repetition creates a sense of validity that facts often struggle to overcome. And the more it feels true, the more it shapes the collective narrative, turning individual biases into shared societal realities. Within these echo chambers, alternative viewpoints are filtered out, leaving us in a loop of constant self-reinforcement. We begin to believe that everyone sees the world exactly as we do, unaware of the invisible walls being built around us. Finally, we arrive at the manufactured reality. This is the culmination of the entire system we have just described. A reality built not from facts alone, but from framing, repetition, and omission. It is a carefully curated version of the world. Framing tells us how to think about an event, while repetition ensures we never forget the version we were told. Omission is perhaps the most powerful tool, removing the context and the counter-arguments that might challenge the dominant story. A reality that feels objective because you never see the construction. The seams of this digital world are perfectly hidden from view. A reality that becomes the lens through which you interpret everything else, coloring your judgment and your interactions with others. We are no longer observing reality. We are living inside a projection of it, tailored specifically to our data profiles. Recognizing this construction is the first step toward reclaiming our digital literacy and seeing the world for what it truly is. And here's the payoff. The real danger isn't misinformation. It's the invisible architecture that determines what becomes true in the first place. Once you see the system, you can step outside of it. You can question the framing. You can challenge the narrative. You can reclaim your ability to think independently. It's because the most powerful form of control is the one you never notice, okay? And the moment you notice it, the illusion breaks. We must learn to look past the lens, to question the frame, and to seek the truths that the algorithms omit. Thank you for joining me. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and always look beyond the echo chamber to find the truth.
Hey, before you go, you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Helps the channel more than you think. And drop a comment below. Tell me what you want to see next. Stick around, your next video is waiting for you right here.